Hello, everybody. It's Miss Ginny from the Rotary Children's Library. Welcome back after your Thanksgiving weekend. Today on Crafting with Ginny, so I'm from the Rotary Children's Library in Drayton Valley, we are going to be doing a scarecrow craft. Because of course, you know, it's fall and we need the scarecrows out there. And who knows, maybe you'll dress up as a scarecrow for Halloween. Anyway, just to start our craft, I'm going to let you know what you need for your supplies. All right. So the first thing you're going to need is you're going to print off a hat template and the instructions. So these instructions are on our website at www.draytonvalleylibrary.ca under Programs, Special Events, Crafting with Ginny. There's the hat template. So you're going to want to cut that out. So you're going to need a pair of scissors. You're also probably going to want a pencil to trace it because you're going to trace it onto an orange piece of construction paper. The other color of construction paper that you're going to want is you're going to want brown. Now you're going to want 3 of these squares, 8.5 by 8.5 inches, 3 of those for your craft. The other thing you might want is some little design for your hat. I chose this one. You can choose whatever design you have. You can even draw in I call it the sash of the hat. You can even draw in that sash if you want. But I found it nice to have that. All right. So the next thing you're also going to want is you can either use this glue, and of course for little kids I would recommend using that, but for my sake today and the video, I'm going to use hot glue. Now, the hot glue gun is very hot glue, so you have to have adult supervision if you're using that. The other thing you're going to need, this is called raffia. It looks like straw. If you don't have any raffia, you can also use strips of paper. Newspaper, paper bag you can cut up, whatever. This is called raffia, so I'm going to use that today. The other thing I've got is my little glue stick because I find that is really handy too. So let's get started with the craft. I'm going to put the computer down there so you can see what you're doing. So the first thing you're going to want to do, and I'm going to show you how to fold these, you're going to want to take your brown pieces of construction paper. If you have cardstock, you can use that too. And you're going to fold it accordion style. So I'm going to show you how to fold it. So I've pre-folded 2 of mine. So you need 3 of those in total. So you're just going to start on one end. Fold it like this. And it doesn't matter which side you start from. Flip it over. So just fold it evenly with itself. This is called accordion folding. Fold it again. So you get to the very end. So you're going to have quite a few folds. And you're going to want to kind of have as many folds as you do on the others. I had about 5 or 6 folds on mine. So make sure you press down hard to get those creases in. You fold it right to the end. All right. Now what I want you to do is I want you to take it and just bend it in half. Fold it in half on itself so that you've got a little kink there like that. Okay. So the other thing you want to do is you want to cut each end and make them kind of rounded because this is for the face of the scarecrow. So just do a little cut on the ends. It's a little bit tough, but that's where you'll need your scissors. You know how a popsicle stick is shaped kind of rounded on the end? Well, that's what you want to do. And it doesn't have to be anything too elaborate. Just cut it like that. So you have a rounded end. All right, so now you have your 3 brown construction paper So you have 3 of them. Now you're going to want to glue the centers together. So you're going to take one of them and hold it like this. And then I'm going to use my hot glue gun here, but you can use your white glue. It will take a little while to dry with the white glue, so be patient. So I'm going to use the hot glue gun because it's a little bit faster for me. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the center of this one. We're going to glue the centers together. So I'm putting that one on top of the other and gluing them like that. Now my hot glue gun always has little glue strings that seem to stick out afterwards. So put the other one on too, put a little glue down there, glue the centers together. These are your centers. These right here are your centers. Glue that together. Now you just want it in the center. You don't want it all over all the way down the length of it, because you're still going to be gluing those together, but you want to be able to spread them, right? Like that. So once you've got that glued, I'm going to use my glue stick here. You can use your white glue, like I said, Lee-Page glue, or whichever kind of glue, Elmer's glue. And I'm just going to put some glue on my centers so they're glued together like that. I got raffia sticking to my sweater here, as well as glue from the glue gun. There. So you're just going to stick them together. Again, you can use your white glue, push them together so they stick. So they're going to stick like that. You're going to do that all the way around until you have it glued together like this. So it looks like it's a circle. All right, so the next thing you're going to want to do is you are going to, like I said, you cut your hat out. You wanted to cut a piece out for the sash of the hat. So I already pre-cut mine. All you need to do is just take your paper, measure, I put it about 1/2 inch, and just measure across the hat, not right down. This is called the brim of the hat, so I call this the sash. So you're going to want to cut that out, and then you're going to want to glue it on like this. Just put a little glue on it, and you can glue it on. So now the next thing you want to do is you want to take your raffia and you want to cut some strips. Now you don't need that many strips of raffia. You cut them the length that you want. This is a scarecrow. It's going to be put on the side of the face. If you want to know where it's going to go, you can kind of lay your hat on there to figure that out. Because you're going to be putting the hat just up a little bit like this. Because right here is where the nose is going to go. And that was the other thing you wanted to cut out of your orange paper, was just cut out a nose. Just draw a nose of whatever kind you want and cut out the nose. So now you're going to put your raffia on. So choose as much as you want. You don't need too much, just a few strands. If you want, you could try to twist them together a little bit. Now you're going to want to glue them on either side of where you think the hat is going to go. So I'm going to glue mine right about here, and you're going to glue it right on. Again, you can use your white glue. It will be all drippy. It will take a little bit of time to dry, so be careful. Remember, don't use a hot glue gun unless you have adult supervision. So I'm going to put mine there. I can always trim my raffia. So you're just getting kind of a cluster of it. So it looks like the hair. And I can always trim it if I want it shorter. So now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. You can see I have my hair up there. So I'm going to take a bit more raffia. And I'm just going to cut some strands. Put it together as best I can. Remember, it's not supposed to look like it's really neat hair because, you know, a scarecrow has kind of messy, it's supposed to be look like straw. So now I'm going to put it across from where I have the other one. And I'm going to glue that on. Again, just drip some glue onto your scarecrow face there on the sides. Put a little bit on your raffia and stick it down to the construction paper face. Remember, you can always trim it afterwards. It's not a problem. So let that dry. Now the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to stick your hat on. So you're going to put glue across the top where your hat is going to go. So my hat is going to go right about there. So I'm going to put some glue across the top, just dripping the glue on the tops of these so my hat will stick. And you can use your white glue, that's quite fine. And then you stick your hat on. Now, I might need a bit more glue on this side, so I'm going to put a bit more down here. You can even stick some on your hat, on the back of your hat, to make it stick better. So now you can see I've got the start of the head. So now I'm going to glue on the nose. Now I'm going to put some on the construction paper. Just going to use my glue stick and put some glue on the nose. So I'm going to put it right about in the center because I want the face, I'm going to put my eyes on either side. All right, so you're also going to need some Google eyes. I'm using some very large Google eyes. Again, either use your hot glue gun or use your glue, whichever works best. I'm going to put a little bit of both here because I want these Google eyes to stick. So you decide where you're going to put your eyes. And just glue them on either side. And I'm going to trim my raffia a little bit because I want it to look a little bit better. And now what you can do is you can take a felt Sharpie or marker and draw in a mouth. Now it's going to look crooked, and that's okay. It is going to look crooked. I'm going to turn my mouth around here, put it on a little better. It wasn't quite sticking. I'm going to use some hot glue on there. Now, I'm going to put a mouth on. So just draw a smile on as best you can. What you can do is you can put it all together here like this. Now, if you want, you can also glue on a black smile or like some construction paper or felt, whatever you want. And that is your scarecrow. I hope you enjoyed this craft as much as I did. And I will see you next time. Let's see you this afternoon. So I hope your scarecrow scares the crows away. That's what scarecrows are for. They're usually put in the garden to scare the crows away. I see my nose is a little bit crooked there. Let me see if I can fix that. There. So the Scarecrow and I say goodbye. I'll see you this afternoon for Crafting with Ginny at 3:30. We are going to be doing a haunted house. Yes, Halloween is coming up. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.